In the previous video I made these horn plate spacers. In this video I'm going to make the side plates. I'll also finish the full assembly ready to fit to the loco frames. We start the job on the CNC mill. This is the CAM software I use, which provides a simulation. Tabs are left in place to keep the side plates attached to the waste material, making the workpiece more secure. Spot drilling for the rivet hole positions. Cutting the profile. Spot drilling for the rivet hole positions. Here I'm heating up the fixture plate to soften the glue I used to secure the workpiece. Cutting through the tabs. Filing off the remainder of the tabs. So to help assemble them, I've taken a block which because I've got a surface grinder, I've surface ground parallel to the correct size, and I'll put a couple of magnets in. Because we've got magnets in, I've got to make sure there's no filings or anything attached to the magnets or the parts, so it's just a case of putting on the, make sure I get a left and right hand one here, putting on the spacers, just check that for cleanliness. Okay, so they're set at the right gap. So I've got a piece of bar clamped to the surface plate. This is an offcut of the bar that was used to make the frame on the loco, so it's exactly the right size. So I basically just take the magnetized spacer. So that is a front, so I want that to be at this side. And this is the rear, so at this side. So that when you're looking at it, you can see the flange of the spacer on that side of the assembly. Okay, so that's the way it goes. I put it on the bar, just check that everything does actually line up. Okay, put a couple of clamps on. Top it down. Okay, remove the two spacers. Again, I use hair fix glue. Just put a little bit on the spacers. Try not to get on my fingers, otherwise I'll glue them as well. Okay. Slide it in. Just check that they are down. Okay. It all looks good. Put on a couple of clamps. And that'll keep the assembly together so that I can go to the drilling machine and drill it for some rivets to go in. Okay, see what we've got. Looks okay. Process now of riveting these together. So these are countersunk holes because these rivets are flush, so they'll be blended in smooth so that you can't see them when they're finished. I didn't have any countersunk rivets, so I just took some round head ones and I just machined a small chamfer underneath the head on the lathe to get a countersunk rivet. It's good enough for what we're doing. So this will be the face it's seen on the engines assembled. Just give it a top down, turn it over and give it a bash. And then back on the other side. Get it well seated. Just get the edges with a ball peen hammer. And that's it. Okay, it's just a case of filing these down now. So I'm just using this bit of spacer that I was using before when I was building these up. Push it in there, and I'm working on the end of the milling machine table, so that's handy for it to clamp this down. So I'm getting pretty close. Try not to mark it anywhere too much anyway. So I'm catching the bottom here a little bit, and I've just caught a little bit there, but I think we'll work here. Just almost there now. Just about there. That's it. Just clean with a finer file. A bit of emery. The next stage is to make these little keep plates which fit in here. So I'm using 8BA screws. These will have square heads when I'm finished. So I'm just using the setup in the milling machine to center drill the positions, and then just going to the drilling machine to finish drilling these. So I've got a piece cut to length. It's just sawn to length at the moment, and I've got the center drill set to drill in the center of the piece of material. So I've just got this vernier set to a length, so I know the position in the vise. Tighten it down, just check it, looks about right. Check it's down on the parallels. So at the drilling machine, now I could hold this in the vise, like so, and then position the drill over. The problem is this has to be very precisely positioned in line with the center drilling, and the weight of the vise and the friction on the surface of the plate of the table means it's actually very difficult to get that precisely lined up. So what I need is something that will easily line up with the drill. So to that end I'm using a block. I'm attaching the keep plate to this block with a clamp. So I don't drill into the vise, I'm just using a piece of wood. So just letting it find the centre of the drill, put some finger pressure on. So again, it looks pretty accurate, just that you do have to be very careful holding it with your fingers. Not really recommended, but that's how I do it anyway. Milling the keep plates to length. I'm using a drill fitted in the hole in the keep plate as a reference to position it in the vise. Repeat for the other side. Now that we've got these little keep plates made, we need to drill the horn plates for the screws that will go in. So these are 8x8 screws, and I'm putting a clearance hole in the front, but I'm tapping the rear 8x8. So the position of the holes is already marked on the CNC machine. So it's just a case of drilling. So the clearance drill is 2.2 millimeters. Okay. So I just use the drill to make a mark on the bottom plate so that the smaller tapping drill will find its position. The same with the other one. So let me make sure the drill will not hit the vise. Okay, so we just need to top this hole out 8x8 to keep it in line and square. I'm just using the other hole as a guide, but I couldn't lubricant. This top's just long enough to get through to the other side. So I've made some little square-headed bolts to fix in the keep plates. So although the when you look at the photograph of the full-size locomotive, the bolts holding these keep plates in are hex-headed. I think it's possible that originally they would be square-headed bolts, which is more in keeping with the period. However, in any case, I prefer the square-headed bolts. And although they're threaded into the plate on the other side, at some future point I'll make some square nuts to fit on here. That's what they will look like on the frame. We've got some more work to do to the frame before we can rivet these on. So that'll be in the next video. If you like this series of videos building the Lion, please subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Thanks for watching.